Hello everybody, my name is Kenneth Grierman. Today I'm presenting the alignment self-checker. I'm a technician at Prestige Toyota in Kingston. I've actually been there 2 years this month, and this slideshow is about, like I said, the alignment self-checker. I have experience using it myself. It's actually something my shop already adapted, and it's actually pretty neat, so let me get into it. So, why should my shop have this? Well, the pros of my shop having this is that it's an effective way for my shop to make more money. Being that when the customers drive in, there's a flat screen TV with the ability to send the customers their alignment results through a text message that we have a system in the dealer that allows this, I should say, to send a text message to the customer saying, hey, this is your alignment results, your tire tread, the alignment angles that were taken of your car, and it's actually very useful for all of the technicians because we used to have a system where the boots would go on the car. That's what we call them. They're called boots. They clamp to the tire, and we'd have to manually push the car forward, and it was actually a lot of work to push, especially Tundras, forward. But now the Tundras just drive on through, and it takes the alignment angles, and I'll explain to you how that works in the next slide. The cons of having this is that it did cost a lot of money. I don't know the figure by myself, but I know it was a lot. New systems always have bugs. Tends to happen. New technology always has its bugs. We've had a few already with, the cars coming through crooked, and then it doesn't take readings. The printer doesn't work. Stupid stuff. And then, there's always doubt that if my boss buys this, will it pay off in the long run? But other than that, let me explain to you how this works. So there are two alignment posts here, one here and one here. So the door opens as the customer gets in that white box that's outside. And what happens is that the lasers shoot from both sides of the machine and from right here in these grates. So the lasers come up and they take the tire tread of the vehicle. Now, you can't really see it, but on each side of the white light, there are cameras on both sides. So these cameras actually help the alignment checker check the alignment of the car by just seeing kind of like how the angle works. I'm not sure myself how exactly the cameras help, but it does. So the alignment begins when, like I said, the customer drives through the door and driving in between the two posts and the grates on the floor. So as the vehicle drives through the doors and over the grates, lasers shoot up from under the wheels to get a reading of the vehicle's tire life. And I spelled vehicles wrong. So as they pass between the two posts, the cameras and lasers determine the vehicle's alignment angles by how straight the customer drives in. So it's actually quite a process, but it is actually very accurate. Sometimes even if the customer's driving crooked, it'll still get a pretty good alignment angle. But yeah, it's a pretty neat system. Like I said, they just drive through the two posts, lasers, and actually the grates in the floor as the customer comes through. If any rocks or dirt get in the grates there, air will actually push out the dirt that we don't want in there. Also, angles aren't going to be right. So when the customer gets out of their car, we have this flat screen right here, actually right up on the wall. As you can see, it's kind of more on the roof. So what happens is it gives you a picture of the car, what it is, like this 16 Corolla. It says the alignment's out, and it says recommend a comprehensive alignment check, and it actually will give you the tire tread of the vehicle and actually show you which way the tire's actually out. Apologize. I'll actually tell you which way the tire is out. So the passenger side front tire is actually pointing to the right slightly, and that's a bad alignment angle. So after the customer has driven through the posts and over the grates, they have the luxury of getting out of their car, and this television, which is actually bigger in person, has a picture of their vehicle, which I spelt wrong again, the alignment angles, and the life and wear pattern of the customer's tires. So it's kind of hard to see, but the lines have a green and yellow line showing you what is possibly, 5 and below is considered yellow, and anything above 5 is good tire life. So why does any of this matter? So at the dealership, there is a gap. There is a communication gap between the customer and the technician. Most customers, not all, when they get a recommendation report from the technician, they only think they're trying to get money out of the customer, which most people actually do think is true, but it's really not. Working in the shop for 2 years, I can tell you from personal experience, and this is pure honesty, that when we make a recommendation to the customer, it's well needed, and the customer should get it. Now, so this is not at all true. Like I said, and it's hard for a service manager or an advisor relaying the message to the customer about the technician's recommendation that they need the recommendation. So with this new machinery, the customer has proof, visual and physical proof of the recommendation, and the customer cannot take this recommendation as an upsell with proof in their hands. And that is just about it. But so the system in general is pretty good. It's very accurate. I think every shop should have it, and it really helps close the communication gap between the customer and the technician. It's always been an issue. It'll still be an issue. It's just sometimes you just gotta sit back and say it is what it is. But with this machine and this quality of alignment angles and proof and tire tread, there's really nowhere you can go wrong. And that is my presentation. Thank you. I hope you guys all enjoyed the class. It was pretty fun to me. And yeah, thanks guys.